Something black was just there and it went that way. What the hell is that, dude? It looks like it's laying flat. Don't you move.
For decades, Bigfoot was dismissed as campfire talk. But new footage, chilling audio, and physical evidence are forcing people to rethink everything. The myth is cracking, and what's underneath might be more real than we're ready for. Legends fade, but this one keeps growing. Hunters, hikers, and researchers are capturing things they can't explain. Deep vocalizations, massive prints, and clear movement in untouched forests. This isn't recycled folklore. It's unfolding right now. And the newest evidence, it's chilling, raw, and impossible to ignore any longer. It started with pure panic. Rain had stopped, darkness settled, and the air? It wasn't right. Something was off, and she knew it. Parked near the infamous Serpent Mound, she wanted a quiet night to record. But the moment she hit record, the energy shifted. Something whispered. The shadows weren't still. Then, the car shook. She reached for the keys. Gone. Pockets empty. Panic hit hard.
Jesus Christ, okay, fuck that shit, okay? Oh my God, I don't care if it's saved or not, I'm out. Where's my keys?
Something was moving around her car, breathing, close. The windows fogged. A smear appeared, wet and slick. Not from inside. This footage says it all. A strange smear across the outside of her window, like a tongue, like something had licked the glass over and over again.
Oh God, what is that? That's not on any of the other windows. What the hell is that? That's not on the inside. What the is that? Y'all, what does that look like to you? It looks like a bunch of slug slime or like something's licked the damn window over and over again.
In the chaos, voices started. Faint, wrong, not human. She locked the doors. Something spoke from the dark, begging to be let in. But she wasn't alone, not by a long shot. From inside the vehicle, the fear built. A face, she swore she saw it. Not human, pale, white-eyed, right outside the sunroof. Then it disappeared.
Is that a face? Is that a face? Sunroof. No. There's sunroof. There was something right there. What is that? There was something right there.
Here's what the camera actually captured. Red eyes, moving, watching, not blinking. And just past them, movement. Something ducked. Something huge. That was the turning point. She realized this wasn't imagination. It wasn't paranoia. Something was hunting, watching, following.
What am I looking at right now? Don't do that. No. I'm moving. You don't move. I want to go to my car. I want to go to my car. Where'd it go? It peeked around that tree. Oh, hell no. I can't do this, guys. I'm in the mountains. I can't do this. Did you guys get that white face, please? I can't run. No. Running's gonna make it worse. Absolutely not. I'll walk fast. Stop.
Dee's Dark Adventures is no stranger to strange. Her channel is filled with moments like this, but none quite like tonight. This one? It got too real. She grabbed her light, pointed it toward the woods, a white face, just standing there. It moved when she moved, and when she stopped, it froze. Take a look at this.
Did you guys get that white face, please? I can't run. No. Running's gonna make it worse. Absolutely not. I'll walk fast. Stop. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but it had a white frickin' face and it's just staring at me. I have miles of mountain road. Send me that white face, dude. I don't know what that was.
The creature peeks from behind the tree, then vanishes. No sound, no trace, only that face. She didn't run. She knew better. Fast movements draw them. So she walked, slowly, every breath tight. Her flashlight flickered. Further down the trail, structures appeared. Branches bent, formations made with intent, not wind damage, not natural. Huge logs, twisted, wedged into each other.
And the logs are huge. Okay, so this little one here is about the size of my head. That one is about 3 heads, dude. Hold on. Look at that. That is huge, and they've been brought here. There's no root system on it. Look. It's so cool.
Watch this clip closely. A heavy object hits her leg. Nothing visible. Then, an eye. Just one. Reflecting light. Watching from the brush.
Something just got thrown at me. It just hit the back of my leg. That stung a little. I don't know if you guys could see that. Please put thumbs up if you see it. Do you see them? Right there. It's as far as ah! I'm not taking my eyes off this thing. Nope. Woo!
Back in the woods, she stumbled on footprints. Deep, spread out. Something heavy had walked through. And not alone. They were circling. There were more eyes now. Not just one set. Multiple. Staring, unblinking. At her. At the camera. Some large, some small. She spoke gently, tried to remain calm, but her voice shook. She was surrounded. Still, she kept filming.
Oh, the eyes are too big to be raccoon. Woo. It has to be deer, coyote, or a baby one. And I'm not going over there. Oh, those eyes are big when it looks at you like that. Hi.
For Dee's dark adventures, documenting meant everything, even if it meant pushing past fear. The deeper she went, the louder it got. Cracks, growls, a distant howl. Her name was whispered again. Then silence. Here's the moment it happened. A black figure moves low to the ground, flat, watching, as if waiting for a signal. Then, gone. She finally turned back.
Something black was just there and it went that way. What the hell is that, dude? It looks like it's laying flat. Don't you move. That eyes and ears, dude. I can't tell, guys.
The trail had changed. More trees broken. A log dropped in her path that hadn't been there minutes earlier. And yet she kept recording. More structures, more signs, trees woven into X formations, logs placed with force, like warnings. There's real danger in these woods. Not the kind you can explain, but the kind Dee captures. Raw, unfiltered, real. By the time she reached the car, her voice was shaking. She slammed the door, locked it, lights off, engine dead. Then something tapped the glass, a low growl, and red eyes again. This wasn't over. It began like any night hike, cold air, fog creeping in. But something about Helltown felt wrong from the start. Exploring with Bear wasn't new to the area. They'd heard the legends, Wendigo, Bigfoot, disappearances, unmarked trails. But they weren't hunting stories this time. They were walking right into them. It started with noise, heavy, slow footsteps in the brush, eyes reflecting light. One set, then more, some low, some tall. The team held still. A coyote? No. Too big, too slow. It didn't run. Watch this part.
No, do you see how dark and wide it is?
But that's crazy because there's all these helicopters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that too bright?
No. This light's not working.
I know I don't have it on yet. I was just getting the camera. I wasn't even ready to roll yet, but that thing started. We just walked the whole abandoned road. And since we've been at the truck and walking, there's been so many helicopters. I was even talking to it with Brandon on the walk here. Like, what's up with all the and then we just seen that thing.
That was not a helicopter, bro.
A massive figure lingers near the tree line. Not quite deer-shaped, not quite human, just still, like it wanted to be seen. Helicopters buzzed the sky. One flew low, silent, too big to miss. But not a sound, no ID markers, not a blimp, not anything they'd seen before. It hovered, then disappeared behind the trees. Still, the sky didn't go quiet. More choppers came, circling. Down the trail they found strange structures, trees bent, twisted into unnatural angles. Huge logs crisscrossed like barriers. Someone, or something, had built them. Not storm damage, not random, purposeful, defensive. Further in they reached it. The abandoned paper press, massive metal rollers, rusted steel beams. But something wasn't right. The concrete floor was clean, not old, recently touched. Grease still clung to some of the gears, as if something had used it, or still did. See it here.
That's cool.
Look how far back it goes that way. So Boston Mills, this was one of its bread and butters right here. This is one of the things that made the town thrive when it started. Look at the size of that thing, man. That's some big old rollers, so the paper would be going through.
You think you can step them on it too? Steps.
Yeah, it's got steps. But so yeah, the paper would be going through all those rolls. Here's a big monster roll.
The size of the press, the stillness around it. Nothing moved, nothing made a sound. It wasn't empty. The trail back was worse. Trees snapped behind them, footsteps again, quick, heavy, close. Then silence. The air was thick. The fog rolled low. They were being followed, watched, tracked. The team kept moving, but the noises didn't stop. Whispers, echoes. One moment they thought they were clear. The next, something tapped the truck window. Take a look.
Spiders. What in the world am I looking at right now? Is that water?
A black figure moves low, flat, like it's waiting, then gone. Whatever was out there didn't want them to find the press, or didn't want them to leave. The coyotes had scattered, the deer ran, but the eyes, still watching, still waiting, some low, some high in the trees. They kept appearing in flashes of light, always ahead, never behind, as if leading them, or herding them. Even with lights dying and hands frozen, they kept the cameras rolling.
Yeah, we got a long walk. Oh man, that light's about dead too. Oh my goodness. Dude.
I'm at 40.
We should walk with a fast pace. I don't have the juice to make it back right now.
That's what Exploring with Bear does. They document everything. And tonight everything fought back. They made it to the truck past 1 a.m., doors locked, engines cold. Then, another growl, closer than before. Something brushed the tailgate. A baby possum crossed the trail, but it wasn't alone. Something was tracking it too, quiet, waiting, just out of frame. The red eyes returned. Whatever they saw in the sky, UFO, black project, or something else, it wasn't alone down here. Something old is living in Helltown's forests. Something that doesn't blink. Something that builds. Something that stalks. And it's still out there. They thought the danger would stay in the mountains. It didn't. This video from Mo Sargi's YouTube channel starts like a typical Bigfoot trek. A remote cabin, overgrown trails, and whispered local stories. But by the end, something unexplainable is caught on camera. Something that followed them back. The group had rented a cabin near an old outpost used by Bigfoot hunters years ago. Rumors swirled around it, screams in the woods, caves nearby. Even stories of a man who ran out of his boots, literally, after seeing something in the trees. And then they found them. The boots. Still there, abandoned in the dirt. The trail led to torn-up trees and bent metal. Something huge had passed through. Mo kept going. Alone. That's when the growl came. Low, deep, too close. Moments later, they spotted the first track. Take a look at this massive footprints.
Yeah. Oh, look how it comes down from here. Look, it corresponds with the tree. What the? Oh my God. Look, they just keep going. And then they stop. He must have turned into here. Oh my God. Yo. That is absolutely insane, guys. Hold on. Don't step on them. Don't step on them.
Toes spaced wide, each step pressed deep into the soft earth. The stride was huge. This thing wasn't walking. It was running. Then it stopped, just vanished. No drag marks, no turning back, like it stepped into thin air. Still reeling from that, the group spotted the outpost, a full house hidden in the forest. But it wasn't empty. A camo tent was pinned outside. Someone had been there recently, hunting something.
Hello, anyone up there? Any Bigfoot hunters here?
I think there's somebody in there. I think this tent, there's a camoed out tent.
Anyone here?
That is 100% not ours.
Hello?
Inside the tent, nothing but old gear and a bottle. Whoever was there left in a hurry. Mo suspected the same man who lost his boots. Whatever happened, the gear stayed. The person didn't. But the real fear started back at their own cabin. It was quiet, too quiet, until the screams started. Something was outside, shaking the trees. Then the lights went out. This footage says it all.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh! Where'd it go? I can't see it. My camera's getting blurry. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. What the f is that? What the f is that? Oh my God. Oh, it went around the house, dude. It went around the fucking house.
A shape, tall, dark, fast, darted across the camera. Not a trick of light, not a shadow. It moved with purpose. And it wasn't alone. Moments later, something huge slammed into the house, snapped a tree, circling the perimeter, watching. Panic set in. Mo and his team scrambled through the cabin. One was still in the bathroom, unaware that something had come to the front door. Here's the moment it happened.
I hear something. I hear something. I hear something. Oh, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
The figure appeared again. This time clearer, hairy, upright, easily 6 feet or more. It moved past the house and disappeared behind it. The camera caught everything before glitching out. Then, the power went. Dead. Lights out. No reason, just black. Mo locked the doors, barricaded windows, and for a moment silence returned. But it didn't last. Something was toying with them, not attacking, just testing, showing itself, hiding again, letting them know they weren't alone. Later that night, Mo went back out, alone, flashlight in hand, his voice barely steady. He retraced the path, called out, searched for answers. What he saw next, he won't forget.
The dude literally vanished into thin air. Like how? How do you just vanish? Like did he teleport or something?
A figure flickered in and out between the trees. Then it was gone. No sound, no warning, just gone. So the question remains, did they find Bigfoot? Or did Bigfoot find them? Something followed Mo Sargi from that mountain, and it didn't stay in the woods. What do you think they saw? Let us know in the comments. It started quiet. Just rustling trees, distant voices, the usual energy of an abandoned trail. But something about Storton Woods didn't feel right. Dog walkers had warned of eerie growls, shadow figures, and whispers that never came from people. That night, the claims became real. Only minutes in, strange noises echoed through the trees, low tones, growls, And then, voices, not just any voices, children, laughter. But there were no kids out there, no houses nearby, just dark woods and rising tension. Here's what the camera actually captured.
Not even doing this like for the video. Like if there's someone standing in the woods.
Hello?
It sounds like I can hear kids talking.
A voice, faint but distinct, drifting from deep within the trees. Like someone calling, something calling. Tom switched to night vision. That's when the shadow appeared. Something shifted just off the main path. The group caught a glimpse, a tall, human-like figure moving between trees. It didn't run, it didn't hide, it just stood there. Take a look at this.
Who was that just whistled then? Who just whistled then? When you guys are joking about him doing that, seconds after I heard a whistle.
A whistle cuts through the air. Unmistakable. No one on the team made the sound, but it came right after they joked about hearing one. Then a second one, sharp and deliberate. Followed by silence. Further down the trail, they spotted movement. Not animals, shapes, human-like. Figures in the brush. One moved lower, crouching. Another slipped behind a tree and vanished. They weren't alone, and whatever was out there wasn't shy. The group stumbled upon an open space, a clearing with a bench. That's when it happened. One of the boys saw something run across the path. It moved fast, too fast for a jogger, but it was human-shaped. The team thought it might have been caught on camera. They rewinded. It was there. Then it was gone.
For any of the new viewers, this cat ball is similar to an EMF meter, a K2 meter, which some of you guys may know of. This picked up is any detection, so if this goes off, it means there's a spirit nearby, for any new viewers that are watching.
A blur, like a person sprinting through shadows. But then, nothing. No trace, like it phased out of view. They kept moving deeper. The air got heavier, quieter. Then the voices came again, but this time it was clearer. A woman's voice. Sad, distant, singing, maybe even crying. The EMF meters began reacting. Something was nearby, something watching. Tom asked if the spirit was trapped. The necrophonic responded clearly. Then it said it again. Turn around. Not once, twice.
Where are you? Are you happy with us being here right now? That's the second time it said turn around now. It said turn around twice, as if like...
The device repeats the same phrase, turn around, as if something was right behind them, waiting. As they continued, shadows danced behind them. The wind picked up. A heavy presence hung over the trail. One member fell. The forest got darker. Even with lights on, it felt smothered. The team stopped to regroup. One more EVP session. They asked who was there, if someone needed help. Voices started flooding in. A man's name, a girl's voice. Then, something changed.
Ah!
What? What's up?
It's a chair.
No,
Oh God.
don't panic, it's okay, it's okay. God.
Do your best. Dog, board, sheep.
What's your name?
God.
Oh,
A sudden burst of emotion, angry, loud. The necrophonic shouted phrases that didn't feel random anymore. Go home. Stop this. Leave. The temperature dropped. No one moved. The boys kept asking questions, but the answers came fast. One name repeated, Jack. Then another, Colin. The energy turned hostile. More commands. Leave. Go. And one final phrase hit hard. We're trapped. Whatever haunted Storton Woods didn't want help. It didn't want conversation. It wanted them gone. The video ends with the group shaken, walking back to the car. One more strange detail. A jogger had passed earlier with bells on. Later, the team claimed they heard the same bells again. But no jogger was there, no one else in sight. The sound returned. The man didn't. They didn't exaggerate this one. The whispers, the growls, the commands to turn around, they were all real. And on tape. So what's out there in Storton Woods? They got chased out the first night. Not by wind, not by the dark, but by something moving out there in the trees. Something big. Now they were back. Same trail, same risk. But this time, they weren't running. From the very start, the tension was real. The team returned to Cedar Mountain, deep in Utah, hiking towards Sasquatch Canyon, a place locals say runs parallel to Strange. A canyon where the howls don't sound like coyotes and the shadows don't move like deer. They wanted to reach the Bigfoot highway by nightfall. The problem? It was already getting dark.
We're really far back in Rough Hollow. We wanted to come back to the Sasquatch highway by the time it hit dark. And then hike out. It's pretty unnerving. It's pretty dark right now.
With every step deeper, the forest changed. The team joked to calm the nerves, but you could feel it. The unease, the pull. The same place that had them fleeing hours before now pulled them back in. No exits, no daylight, only one way out. They hiked toward where they'd heard strange vocalizations. At least 3 creatures circling them the night before. This time they weren't turning back. But as light dropped, so did the mood. Quiet, still, too still. See for yourself.
So, we're a few miles back in here, and you know, the darker it gets, the worse idea it feels like, you know. When we set out, it seemed like a great idea. Let's go back in there until it gets dark and then go back out, but it's unnerving. You know, we know.
Miles in and dusk settling, the tone shifts. They reach the outer edge of what they call Sasquatch Highway, known for 30 to 35 footprint finds in past visits. But now it's just black trees and silence. No clear prints, no signs. Just instincts telling them they probably should have left sooner. Then, the tracker spotted something. Not Bigfoot. Bigger. Moose prints, fresh. And the stench of something nearby. They weren't alone. The smell was strong, musky, and the mood? Even the jokes stopped. Something was watching. Take a look at this. That's the 19-inch print they casted on a past trip. Still visible despite weather damage.
Oh, it's right here. I found it. Look at you guys. I'll put my foot right by it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's the 19-incher that we casted. There's the heel. There's the toes, heel.
That light is blinding
toes.
me.
Sorry. But yeah, heel and toes.
You can see the heel, the toe line. Massive. It's there. Real. Proof that something with huge feet walked that path. And probably still does. Back at the trail, they checked around for more signs. The light from their headlamps wasn't helping much. But the nerves? Fully active. They'd seen footprints here before. Tonight, they might be seeing more. Here's what the camera actually captured. The team believes they may have found fresh prints. Hopes rise.
We have made it to the Bigfoot highway. It's pretty dark. It's kind of hard to find new prints. We thought we found some new prints for a second there, and then Jenny burst my bubble and said, hey, that's a moose.
But Jenny quickly calls it moose again. A letdown? Maybe. But not a reason to relax. Where there are moose, there are predators. And back here, that means grizzlies. Or something else. They decide to pull out. 5 or 6 miles to go. In the dark. No backup light. No shortcut.
And she was right. It's a moose. She's a lot better tracker than I am, I'll tell you that. So we're going to start heading out. Is it okay, Jenny? You ready to head out?
Yeah, I just want to get my head out.
Because we got like 5 or 6 miles to go.
Well, there's a really, really steep cliffs all the way down. I don't want to fall down too much.
The mood is heavy, but the footage is gold. They reached Sasquatch Highway. They saw the cast site. They didn't get chased this time, but they weren't exactly welcomed either. The truth? They weren't just hiking. They were pushing a boundary between what's known and what's out there. What would have happened if they stayed another hour? And more importantly, what was it that chased them out the first night? Let us know what you think. Something's still out there in that canyon. Something was out there in the dark, growling, screaming, moving through the hills of Nicholas County like it owned the place, and according to the Ames team, it did. The creature? The Yahoo, bigger than your average Bigfoot, with a roar like a train and strength that defies logic. The team began their night tracking strange vocalizations echoing through the woods, not one voice, several. They followed the sounds, weapons ready, scanning with thermal and eyes peeled. Then it hit. A scream, not human, not animal. It shook them, chest-level power, too close. Take a look at this. In the creek bed, they found it.
Whoa, hold still, Buck. Whoa. Look right here. Willa, look here.
There's a track. Watch where you're stepping. Watch where you're stepping.
Whoa, hey, look at this, look at this. Son, look here, look at this.
Look how big this track is, Bill.
That's as fresh as that can be, yeah?
Yes, it is. Look how wide it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's 10 inches wide.
Massive footprints. Fresh, wide, deep, too wide for a man, too fresh to be old. But it didn't stop there. They found more, 2 sets, then a third. That's when they realized they weren't tracking one Yahoo. They were surrounded by 3. Here's what the camera actually captured. The Yahoo's scream cuts through the forest again.
Hey, Josh! Oh, my God.
Boys, the hunt started.
That was close. That was real close. We just heard the Yahoo scream. It's more powerful than I ever imagined. It shook my chest.
That was definitely him out of the squall, wasn't he? Climbing.
This time louder, closer. The team scrambled. One member caught something on thermal, a shape, moving fast across the ridge. Then another behind them. They weren't just tracking anymore. They were being tracked. The team pushed forward, trying to steer the Yahoos toward the trap they'd built deep in the woods. But that's when it happened. Something tore a tree down. Not just a branch, but a 50-foot tree. And threw it, full force, right at them. The impact shook the ground. One missed by inches. See for yourself.
Man, that Yahoo slammed a big old tree down, about a 50-foot tree.
Oh, my God!
Almost took out the whole team.
Look at that. He just broke that off right there. How in the world did he do that?
He busted the splinter that thing off like it wasn't nothing.
I can't believe the power he has in his upper body to break that off.
Oh, that's unreal.
Hey, I got hair. Gray and black. That must have been the alpha male right there.
Yeah.
That tree wasn't old or rotted. It snapped like a twig, tossed like a toy. Gray and black hair left behind on the bark. They called it, must have been the alpha, bigger, stronger, and angry. And then came the worst part. The trap, gone. While the team was being lured and distracted, another had taken the structure apart. Not just broken, crushed. A 60-foot log pushed down over the frame. Bent steel, shattered supports. Watch this clip closely. You can see where the tree was pushed from.
Oh, man, we got a log across, guys. We got a log across.
Trapper!
We got back to the trap, and a Yahoo had pushed a tree over and completely destroyed it.
You're kidding. He shoved a log over top of that thing.
He pushed a log on over top of it.
That thing must be 60 feet long. He shoved her top
That's
of it.
exactly what he done.
He's too damn smart. That tree was standing back here about 30 feet. He got right back here. Yeah, look where he was standing, right back in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's some tracks, yeah.
Yeah, there's where he was pushing from.
Tracks leading straight to it. Snapped clean, shoved right across the trap's doorway. The precision? Chilling. The message? Crystal clear. These creatures weren't just running. They were planning. The trap took hours to build, reinforced, anchored. But it didn't matter. The Yahoo turned it to splinters in seconds. The team stood silent, staring at what used to be their best shot. One Yahoo distracted. Another destroyed. They weren't hunting a mindless beast. They were challenging a tactical predator. And the Yahoo made sure they knew, this is its land. What would you do if something that strong, that smart, and that loud came for you? Let us know what you believe. This hunt isn't over. Something strange was walking barefoot through the freezing mud at Bumping Lake, and no one saw it coming. Saturday morning, the crew returned to the site, cold, quiet, and still. But the ground told a different story. Small, flat-footed tracks, some just 8 inches long, wove their way through the muck. Human prints were nearby, sure, but these? They were barefoot, deep, and scattered in sizes. The prints weren't fresh, but they hadn't been there long either. And in that frigid weather, no one in their right mind would walk barefoot, especially not children. Yet these were tiny, narrow heels, heavy toe impressions, not normal for casual hikers. Then came the echo. A loud yell bounced off the lake basin, and something answered back. Not once, twice. Long, low howls from the tree line. See for yourself.
Make an echo. I hollered out as loud as I could, and it made a fine echo. We had a response. And, you know, I don't know if there's other people out here responding or what it was, but then we just heard another howl with a big echo, and it sent. That's cool.
That's when the second call comes back, louder, closer. There were kayakers on the lake, sure, but this? It came from the woods. Further up the beach, orange flagging marked the site of a trackway discovered the day before. The camera pans over the prints, one after another. Clean outlines, about 8 inches long, each step deep in the front, light in the heel. Like something walked on the balls of its feet. The group measures stride. From heel to heel, it's over 32 inches. Then another step, over 57 inches apart. That's a stretch for a grown adult. But these prints? Still small, same size, same flat pressure. Then came the big ones. Take a look at this.
Yeah, Gabby, you gotta move. You're blocking
12
the light.
inches.
Holy cow, look at the big toe on that.
And the width.
Yeah. So I think we're into the bigger tracks they were talking about. So that toe alone is almost 2.5 inches long.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Actually,
Going on
it's
3 inches long. Wow.
3 inches and 2 inches wide.
Wow.
One footprint stretches a full 12 inches. The big toe alone is almost 3 inches long. Dermal ridges appear. Not imagined, clearly visible. These weren't shoe prints. The skin texture gives it away. Another stride is measured, 83 inches. That's massive. And the trackway remains perfectly in line, step after step, heading off into the brush. More prints emerge, partial, slipped, but still carrying those telltale toe impressions, deep, pressed down hard into the soft ground. Here's what the camera actually captured.
Gabby, come here. Okay, you can see this trackway, how in line it is, going out across there. How perfect that is. So straight. And you see the little pile of wood there. That's where one of yesterday's cast tracks is.
A perfectly aligned trackway, stretching toward the woods. One print even had a small wooden pile placed over it for protection. That cast, made the day before, holds the best impression of all. More markers appear, sticks stuck upright in the ground. Not broken, not fallen, placed, just like the ones seen in other Bigfoot hotspots. Coincidence? Maybe, but the pattern's hard to ignore. Further down, they find more. Older, yes, but just as odd. Smaller prints again. Some only 6.5 inches long, 2 inches wide at the toes. A child's foot, maybe. But the terrain is too soft, the weather too cold, and the depth too heavy. Watch this clip closely.
The stride is incredible. Can we see how deep it is at the toe?
Okay, so it's about 3.5 inches deep, and the width
is
Good
5.5.
Left your 5.5 inches wide.
Okay, so somebody answer me this question. We need to get you out.
I want to. Can we see how hard it is to make this step? And how tall are you?
6'1".
Right on.
They measure one deep toe-to-heel print, 3.5 inches deep at the toe, an inch at the heel. That's pressure, weight, force, and then stride comparison. Grown adults try to match it, stretching, straining. It's possible, but awkward. Not how people walk. Not that distance, not that consistency. The mystery deepens when the prints suddenly shift direction. Some appear shallow, others leaping far. One theory? A sprint. Another? Two different individuals. Whatever it wasn't walking casually. The final section of the trackway is worn, weathered, but those deep toe impressions never lie. Even after the elements smooth the edges, the pressure remains. Here's the moment it happened.
These are just amazing tiny little footprints. And what's so telling is how deep they are in the toe and how narrow they are in the heel. Here's another one. Look at that.
The weight as well. Look how much my boot is sunken. Look how deep that is.
Yeah.
So the other thing that's really interesting, we're talking about the step. So if I step it, so here's my step, this step, this step, this step.
One final tiny track, perfectly formed, stands out. Narrow heel, deep toes. No sign of slipping, no shoes, just weight and intent. These prints weren't just left in the mud. They were imprinted into the cold, wet lake bed like a story begging to be read. Something walked here, and it didn't want to be seen. So what do you think? Was it a juvenile Sasquatch trailing an adult? Could it be the same ones from last year's prints? Or is this something else entirely? Let us know in the comments. And if you've ever seen barefoot tracks in the woods, especially where they shouldn't be, tell your story. This one's just beginning. The Squatch team had been silent for 6 months. No new videos, no field updates. Viewers started to wonder if something had happened. But now they're back. And something might have been waiting for them. They returned to their property in southeastern Oklahoma. Just hours after arriving, barely 200 yards from the cabin, they spotted something strange. Pressed deep into the pine straw and mud were fresh footprints, still wet, no fallen needles covering the outlines. These weren't old, they were recent, real recent. The tracks were shaped just like a foot, long, wide, and clear. You could see the toes. And there was that signature mid-tarsal break that researchers talk about. It didn't stop there. There were two sizes, one larger than a grown man's foot, the other smaller, maybe 6 or 8 inches long. But it wasn't the size that stood out. It was the depth. These prints had weight behind them. Way more than a human would leave in the same conditions. Here's what the camera actually captured.
I don't know if you guys can see very good this right here.
It looks like they were running, like maybe they heard us moving.
That's what I'm thinking, that we surprised them here pretty close to the cabin and they were running because
it looks like you can see that deep heel mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe it turned and then coming on down here.
The trail of prints showed motion. One deep heel mark, then a sharp turn, like something realized it wasn't alone and bolted. The pine needles were kicked up. The ground was torn slightly, like something had pushed off hard and fast. It felt sudden, urgent. They tried replicating the pressure, standing still, jumping, pressing down. Nothing made a dent even close to what the original track did. It wasn't just shape, it was force. Wait. And it wasn't just one. See for yourself.
Right here. See this smaller print?
Yeah.
And these had to be done today because you can see how the pine needles haven't fallen over and covered the main part of the print. And the other interesting thing about this is the depth of it. If you watch my foot isn't even making an indentation. But look there how deep that is. And even if I ran, put a lot of pressure on it, you still get nothing like that.
A second, smaller track was found beside the larger one. The outline was clear: right foot, visible toes, even pressure distribution. They guessed it was left only hours earlier. The earth hadn't even begun to settle. From the layout, it looked like the prints turned sharply and headed into the dense brush, off the trail, disappearing into the undergrowth without hesitation. They believed they surprised it. The team had only just arrived, unpacking gear, when it likely heard them. It ran, fast, down the trail, then veering hard into the trees. One section of the path showed signs of a slip, drag marks, a skid in the mud. Whatever ran there had weight and was moving quickly. Take a look at this.
Like I said, we're only about 200 yards from the cabin. I don't know if we drove up and maybe surprised them and they took off running down this road. Right down here, they veered off to the right, back up through the brush this way. So, I don't know. My guess would be we surprised them and they took off running, ran down this road, slipped in this mud. That's what caused all this scuff.
What they've been finding for weeks are two sets of tracks, a large one and a smaller one, always nearby. It's consistent. They believe this points to more than just a lone Sasquatch, maybe a family, a mother and juvenile, or even more. For 6 months, this place had been silent, but these signs say otherwise. Something's been here, moving, watching, living. So what do you think? Did they really catch a Sasquatch off guard? Was it just coincidence, or are they finally getting too close to something real? Whatever the case, the prints are fresh, the footage is raw, and the Squatch team is back in the field. They went out chasing Bigfoot, but something else was chasing them. In the cold, shadowy Appalachian mountains, YouTuber Exploring with Bear teamed up with Doug from Fear Fanatics on a 48-hour mission. Their goal? Track Bigfoot. No electricity, no water. Just them, their cameras, and the wilderness that's known for strange encounters. But they weren't ready for what was waiting. The first night started out calm, just the sounds of the woods and the crunch of their footsteps. But the silence didn't last. Soon, stones began flying out of the darkness. Hard impacts, sharp, loud thuds near the trail. They didn't see what threw them, but something was there, and it wanted them to know. Take a look at this.
All right, so we just did some Bigfoot calls. And, I just heard something. I didn't have the camera rolling, dang it. We're going to be here for so long.
That wasn't just a rock dropping. You can hear the throw. It was fast, deliberate. Something was close, too close. The shock in their voices says it all. This wasn't just the wind. As they continued along the trail, the forest around them came alive. Branches snapped in the distance. Heavy footfalls circled them. And just beyond the light, they caught a glimpse. A dark figure, barely visible through the trees. It never showed itself fully. It just kept its distance.
Did you hear something? Yeah, is my flash... What is that up there? Man, my flashlight ain't doing good.
I can't tell.
It looks weird, whatever, like out of place. Sort of like in the middle where my light's at.
I see it. I don't know what that is.
It's not coming up good on camera, but it looks weird.
Watching, they tried Bigfoot calls. They knocked rocks together. And something answered back. The clacks returned from deeper in the woods, like a distant echo. but it wasn't an echo. It felt like a response. Here's the moment it happened. A rock flies clear as day.
I know you. Holy smokes, man. Hold on. What the heck? It was like a.
I saw something go flying through there, dude.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you got it on camera?
I don't know if I
Man, I hope that sound. I hope they could hear that. That sucker was loud.
Deep in the woods, bro. Hold on.
It skips across the creek bed with speed and force. This wasn't gravity. Something threw it. On purpose. And it wasn't far from them. Their pace changed. You can hear the breath shorten. You can feel the urgency rising. But they didn't stop. They pushed forward, deeper into the trail, toward the sounds. They called out again, and again, the response. Movement, snapping branches, a heavy crash somewhere ahead. Whatever it was aware, and it wasn't backing down. Watch this clip closely.
Go. Was that a rock? What was that? Ow, my face! Damn it! Go, man, don't stop. Man, something's throwing something. Go.
Another rock gets thrown, closer this time. The sound is sharp. It hits with force. It's no accident. That's when they bolt. They don't think. They just run. Full sprint, desperate to get distance between themselves and whatever was chasing them. Back at camp, they caught their breath. But the forest wasn't finished. In the quiet, another sound echoed through the woods. More movement. Another crash. The thing that followed them. It was still out there. It didn't stop when they did. This footage says it all. The final sprint. You can hear it. The panic. The speed. The overwhelming sense of needing to get out now.
Look. I know. Don't make it too bright. So don't make the light too bright. So we ran for a minute. And man, it was so hard to see. I was dropping stuff. I dropped the camera. I hope it's okay. I haven't turned the light on good enough to expect it, but... So we went total lights out and just sat here in the dark.
A second crash hits behind them. Close. It pushed them to the edge. When they reached the RV, they finally stopped. They were safe, for now. But the question stayed with them. What was it? Was it Bigfoot? Or something else that hunts in these mountains? They didn't see it. Not directly. But they heard it. They felt it. The pounding of something big. The well-aimed rocks. The strategic movement in the trees. It wasn't random. It wasn't an accident. Whatever it was, it followed them all night. It came in close. It wanted to be heard. Dee's dark adventures and fear fanatics captured something real, something aggressive, something that didn't want to be seen, but absolutely wanted to be known. So what do you think? Was it Bigfoot, a territorial creature, or was something hunting them all along? Let us know what you believe. Dee went out to break a challenge, but she ended up facing the scariest night of her life. It was supposed to be a solo camping trip to celebrate 100,000 subscribers on her channel, Dee's Dark Adventures. She chose Salt Fork, alone, deep in the woods, with only her 2 dogs, Mara and Mia. From the start, Mara acted strange. She kept staring into the woods, focused, refusing to move. Dee couldn't see anything, just smoke and stillness. No frogs, no crickets. The woods were dead silent. Something was off. Mara wouldn't let it go. She stared, growled, then froze again. See for yourself. The moment Mara wouldn't stop watching something in the dark.
There's the smoke in the way. I can't see what she's seeing. She keeps... Mara! I don't know what she's seeing.
Dee tried to calm her down, but Mara stayed locked in, growling at the unseen. Then Dee noticed it. Strange lights deep in the trees. 1, then 2, then 3. Were they reflections or something else? They flickered, they moved, and then they were gone. Whatever was out there, it had her dogs on edge. Take a look at this. The moment those lights appeared in the woods.
What is that light? Is that a light right there? What is that? Is that what she's looking at? No, there's 2. What is that the fire rift? Guys, I don't know. I think it's a fire. I hope there's 3 now. On the camera. I'm hoping it's just fire. Yeah, okay, there it went. All right.
Feeling exposed, Dee packed the dogs into the truck, trying to keep them safe while she walked the trail alone. This was where her dogs had bolted earlier. The woods were too quiet. No insects, no breeze, just stillness. Then, a sharp metal clank broke the silence. Dee spun around. Movement, but nothing was there. She pushed forward, then came the knocks. One to the left, another up ahead. The trees around her trembled. She kept walking, but the woods closed in. Suddenly, a large tree shook right in front of her. No wind, no reason, just movement. She knew she wasn't alone. Something was watching. Something was near. Watch this clip closely. The tree that moved without warning.
There's no wind except for now. Like, what? I got 2 between me. I got 1 in front of me. Just through the whole tree. Oh my god, that's crazy. Stop. Okay. Okay.
Dee called out. She meant no harm, but the feeling got worse. She found a snowy owl perched nearby. A beautiful moment, but it didn't calm the dread. Her dogs were whining back at the tent. The knocks returned, closer now. Movement surrounded her. Fear climbed fast. She rushed back to the tent. Then something hit it, hard. The pressure was closing in. Her dogs shook in fear. Dee pressed her camera against the mesh, desperate to see what was outside. Heavy footsteps circled. Then, eye shine. Quick, gone. Panic took over. Here's the moment it happened. The pounding, the circling, the terror closing in.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I can't do this, guys. I can't do this, guys. I can't do this, guys. I'm sorry, girls. This was a bad idea. Something, I swear, something just like raised my tent. I'm not sure. I have to get out and walk, but I don't want to leave them.
She begged it to stop, begged it to leave. She couldn't see it, but she knew it was there. Dee packed up in a frenzy, grabbed the dogs, and bolted for the truck. But something was still moving out there, still following. The sounds wouldn't stop. Even from inside the truck, the knocks echoed. They were closing in. Dee didn't quit. After calming down, she went back in. She pushed herself to keep recording. But the woods weren't finished with her. Knocks returned. Movement darted between the trees. Shapes shifted in the dark. Dee could hear them but never see them. Here's the moment she could not keep calm anymore.
I don't, they're all around me. I don't think they're used to this kind of stuff. Like people coming out and being like, hey, how are you? She's coming out to see us. Well, let's rev her up a little bit. Oh, God. I'm breathing heavy, guys. I'm sorry. I know that sucks when somebody's going in the stupid thing, but I'm scared, okay? I admit it. I am freaked out right now.
She sat for hours, listening, watching, waiting. Then came the final moment. A sound so close, so heavy. It was enough. She called it. She was done. She drove away, panic flooding her chest.
Absolutely not. I'm done. I'm done. Oh, God. Oh God, I backed up too far. Thank God it's four-wheel drive. Oh God, I'm panicked, dude.
She was safe, but the fear stuck with her. Something was out there that night. Something that didn't want her there. Would you have stayed? Just minutes into his hike through the Olympic National Forest, Tyler Bounds stumbled onto something chilling. A set of huge footprints, clearly defined, spaced far apart, and leading straight up a remote trail. He had been heading toward a secret location, a known Bigfoot hotspot, rarely visited and tucked deep within the forest. But the forest found him first. The prints weren't scattered or staggered. They moved in a straight line, one after another, something wildlife trackers often associate with bipedal motion. And these weren't small. He paused, set his boot down next to one of them. No comparison, his foot looked tiny beside the impression. The length? At least 16 inches. And the stride? Enormous. Here's what the camera actually captured.
I'm only a couple minutes into my hike. I came across these footprints. Big ones. There's my foot next to it. These footprints go in a straight line.
With a trekking pole fully extended to 135 centimeters, about 53 inches, he measured the distance from toe to toe, roughly 40 inches apart. That's over 3 feet between each step. For comparison, his own stride was almost half that, even when stretching. See for yourself.
Footprints in a straight line and 4-foot stride. There's my pole fully extended, 135 centimeters, so it's like 42, 43 inches. Like 40 inches from toe to heel, maybe a little less. But here's my tracks. I mean, I've got like a freaking 16, 18-inch stride.
These weren't casual footprints left by a hiker. They were deliberate, heavy, deep, left by something with mass and size and purpose. There were no drag marks, no toe scuffs, just clean, distinct shapes heading directly into the wilderness. That straight line pattern? It's what researchers call inline stepping, a trait found in reported Bigfoot trackways across North America. And he wasn't even halfway to the hotspot yet. The Olympic Peninsula has long been rumored to host Sasquatch activity. Remote, wild, and densely forested, it's the kind of place where something could live, move, and disappear without a trace. But Tyler didn't expect to find tracks this early, this obvious, and this huge. So what do you think? Natural formation? A hoax? Or did Tyler stumble into something ancient, moving just ahead of him in the fog? Let us know in the comments. And if you've seen anything like this, share your story. Still think Bigfoot's just a myth? Or are we finally crossing into something real? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash like if this footage gave you second thoughts. And subscribe, because more proof is surfacing, and sooner or later the line between myth and reality is going to disappear completely.